Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk about an idea that I just recently learned about, a historical fact dating from World War II in America that never occurred to me. And I think maybe other people as well aren't familiar with this idea that actually happened in the United States at that time. We hear a lot about the war, obviously, World War II being the biggest world war so far that I know of. And it's pretty common that people understand the reasons behind it, or the reasons for America's involvement. I mean, after you've taken the history classes, you hear the rhetoric. But what I never heard about in school and caught me off guard was that there was a great deal of support in America during that time for the Nazi Germany movement, the party. There were Americans behind it. They were called the Bund affiliation, the Bund movement in America, trying to garner support for the Nazis in defense of Germany and the way they were doing things on behalf of German Americans. They were trying to recruit people and publicize things and resist America's going to war against Germany. And this is interesting to me, not because I think they were proper, but because I think they were improper and we don't hear about it. I think that Nazism is pretty obviously terrible. It cuts corners ethically. If you want to look at Nazism from a philosophical standpoint, there's a fatal flaw in their argument. They say that nothing is true, everything is permitted. They have no problem cutting through living flesh to get any job done as long as it accomplishes their goals. Okay, that's the basis for Nazism. The underlying philosophy is the ends justify the means, regardless of circumstances, regardless of constraints or living flesh. We're going to just get her done. And you see this resurfacing nowadays. This perspective, this philosophy is making a comeback in a big way. I don't have evidence, but I believe that there are still Nazis around. I believe that there's probably still in the government and in the military and in the United States right now. I can't prove it, but I'm seeing a lot of the same attitudes and atmosphere, the censorship, the draconian authoritarianism, the fascism. It's coming back. If you know what I mean, just look around and you'll see what I'm talking about. But what's really interesting, lastly, is that I never heard about this, resistance, this division within the United States during World War II. It was told to me like we were unanimous. By the time we got into the war, we were all of the same mind that it had to be done, and it was unanimous that we just wanted to go, kick some Nazis' asses and, end the suffering and the Holocaust and the atrocities, right? Because there were real atrocities that, again, Germany was justifying in the name of political progress. They didn't see a problem with exterminating blacks and Jews and homosexuals just because they happened to be in the way. And it was just a necessary evil as far as they were concerned. That's why they formed their concentration camps, why they, burned people and gassed them and, all the terrible things that you hear about. And there is a preponderance of evidence in support of, okay, none of this stuff is debatable. It is real. It happened. And if you think it didn't, you need to just, do some research. You'll see what I mean. It's not up for debate. It happened. Okay, now maybe the numbers aren't exactly correct, but it happened. Something happened. Anyway, it's interesting. And the final point is that if ever such a call were to happen again in defense of, humanitarian politics, some kind of, sane perspective on getting things done with civilization and, proper human conduct in mind, you might find, again, that there is some resistance. You might find that, just like last time, you're going to have a population of people who are confused, who are maybe just evil or whatever, but it's not going to be unanimous. This is the part that surprised the hell out of me. It's not going to be unanimous. It wasn't before, and it wouldn't be again. You're going to always see people complaining and thinking that you should just cut people down to get things done. That's not how you do it. Granted, it's more expensive to do it right. It's more expensive to indulge due process, to do your investigation, to find out, who's responsible for things, rather than just mow down whole groups of people because they happen to be in the way. It's more time consuming and expensive, but that's the only human way to do it. That's the only proper civilized way to do it. Or else you're not civilized. That's the problem with Nazism. It's uncivilized. at the bottom line. Reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.